So far in this Santoku series, we talked about the hand-forged Kirogane and the drop-forged Wüsthof Classic Icon. Today, we're going to be talking about hybrid knives. First, we're going to talk about the Yaxell Rei, which is a stamped knife just like the rest of these. So basically think a sheet of steel gets a cookie cutter punch out of the shape of the blade. It is then ground and sharpened to provide the geometry and the edge angle that the maker would like. This looks very similar to the Hatsuko Koro in the sense that there is no bolster, the tang goes into the handle, and is a very similar shape and overall profile. The difference would be instead of a natural wood handle, we now get into a more modern material, which is called Paka wood, which is a wood resin hybrid that's really nearly indestructible and won't be affected by moisture or humidity changes. This also has Damascus cladding that is covering the sharpened core. This isn't out yet, but stay tuned, so I can't give you all the details. Next up, we have the Miyabi Koya. This is, again, another stamped knife, but we now introduce a more Western feature, which would be the bolster. This is a more Japanese-leaning knife because of the cladding and the core and the octagonal handle, but it's Pakawood, and now we have a bolster. The Mac Pro Santoku, which is probably the best example of a hybrid between a Japanese Santoku and a German-made Santoku. The Japanese side of things comes from the blade itself. This has a higher Rockwell coming in at 60 to 61 and a bit finer of a grind, the geometry of the blade compared to more German knives. Now, this is where things get real Western, would be with the bolster going into the full tang triple riveted handle. However, the biggest difference between this and the Wüsthof is that this is a welded knife. So this is welded right here at the bolster, just like the Miyabi and many other knives in this category, whereas the Wüsthof is one single piece of steel going from the tip all the way to the butt of the knife. Now, does that affect performance or quality or anything like that? No, not at all. It does affect price and it does affect the weight of the blade. These are three hybrid Santoku knives that blend characteristics of the traditional Japanese Santoku or the more modern German fully forged Santoku.